Mr. President and Senator DRILON, please. This was the date that we first recommended, January 1, but as it's usually in the middle of the holiday and is a holiday itself, it may be difficult. What is your pleasure?
There is no difficulty, especially that this is only a barangay. This is the smallest unit of governance. There is no need for a very lengthy turnover period. And for symmetry, it is better that we do it on January 1 so that the term of office starts on January 1, so for
Every 3 years.
Every 3 years.
Or every 3 years.
We so move, Mr. President.
So
We submit it to the
Mr.
sponsor.
President, with all due respect, January 1 is usually the date following much revelry, drinking, and carousing. The barangays and the SKs urge that we can meet midway at January 15.
ETV Online Channel, in the service of the Filipino online world.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Majority Leader. Following the vigorous and enlightened debates of the past few days and submitting to the greater wisdom of this chamber, I will no longer be introducing committee amendments, but instead be proposing the following individual amendments as recommended by our members, the matters of which arose during the period of interpellation. Firstly, page 2, line 2, delete the date, October 23, 2017, replacing it with the words, the second Monday of May 2020. On the same page, line 3, delete the phrase, second Monday of 2018, replace it with the date, December 5, 2022. On page 2, line 5, delete the phrase, second Monday of May 2023.
Wait, Senator Marcos. Let us start with...
one by one. Okay.
No, let's start with the... if these are individual amendments and our colleagues have proposed amendments also, let us start with page 1.
Okay.
On page 1, any amendments on page 1?
I don't have the original.
Except for the title, of course. Any amendments on page 1? Hearing none, we proceed with page 2.
Okay. Apologies, I was told to go page by page.
Yes.
But there are several amendments, individual amendments on the different pages.
Yes.
We proceed to page 2, line
Page
2.
Line 2.
And delete the date, October 23, 2017, replacing it with the words, the second Monday of May 2020.
Second Monday of May 2020.
Mr.
The
President,
Minority Leader.
with the indulgence of the good sponsor, we find difficulty following the amendments. Is it possible either if it's not inconvenient, can we have written
Yes.
copies of the amendments?
Before we go into the page by page.
Yes.
All right. Let us provide the members. In the meantime,
My apologies, Minority Leader. I was under the impression that the pages had distributed the written version, but I will follow up and make sure they get them to the members now. I repeat, and I take you to page 2, line 2, wherein we delete the date October 23, 2017, replace it with the words, the second Monday of May 2020. I so move.
any objections? Hearing none. Motion is approved.
On the same page, line 3, we delete the phrase, the second Monday of 2018, replacing it with the date, December 5, 2022.
December 5, 20.
December 5, 2022 shall be the date of the next
Yes.
barangay and SK
right.
elections.
Any
I
objection?
so move.
Any objection? Hearing none. Motion is approved. Amendment is approved.
On page 2, line 5, we delete the phrase second Monday of May 2023 and replace it with the first Monday of December 2025 and every 3 years thereafter. I so move. As recommended by the Minority Leader and other members, we seek to regularize the phrase 3 years.
Remove the brackets.
Oh, I so move.
Any objection? Hearing none. Approved.
On page 2, line 14, we replace May 2023 once again with the same date of the next elections, December 5, 2022.
Any objection? Hearing none. Motion's approved.
On page 2, finally, line 15, we delete the words June 30 and in lieu thereof insert the words January 31 as the assumption into office of the barangay official.
All right, the Minority Leader is recognized.
Yes.
Mr. President, will the good sponsor accept the following amendment to her amendment? Instead of January 31, we propose that it be January 1. Because the election is on December 5, there is no reason for a very long gap between the election and the assumption of office. We propose an amendment that instead of January 31 as the date of the assumption, it should be January 1. We submit that...
What does the sponsor say?
Mr. President and Senator DRILON, please. This was the date that we first recommended, January 1, but as it's usually in the middle of the holiday and is a holiday itself, it may be difficult. What is your pleasure?
There is no difficulty, especially that this is only a barangay. This is the smallest unit of governance. There is no need for a very lengthy turnover period. And for symmetry, it is better that we do it on January 1 so that the term of office starts on January 1, so for 3 years.
Every 3 years.
Every 3 years.
Or every 3 years.
We so move, Mr. President.
So
We submit it to the
Mr.
sponsor.
President, with all due respect, January 1 is usually the date following much revelry, drinking, and carousing. The barangays and the SKs urge that we can meet midway at January 15.
I cannot understand, Mr. President, the resistance. Anyway, I have a motion, an amendment to the amendment. I think the procedure should be, if the good sponsor rejects it, then she so rejects it and appeal to the floor. I'll ask
So
for a vote.
the proposed amendment of the sponsor is that it be January 31st. As of now, she is amenable to January 15. So do I take it that your proposal now really is for this amendment to be January 15?
I think January 15 is quite reasonable, so
All
there
right.
will not be an extended period
All right.
between
All right.
proclamation
Now the
and
Minority
assumption.
Leader is proposing that it be January 1. Are you willing to accept the proposal to the amendment?
There's a great deal of resistance to January 1. It was my proposal in the beginning because people, many of the officials concerned will be coming from fiestas and other barrios far away and may not be in the best condition to commence office.
So the Minority Leader, your amendment is unacceptable to the sponsor. What is your pleasure?
I appeal to the floor.
We appeal to the floor, Majority Leader.
Sorry.
Yes, for 1 minute.
There is an appeal.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Yes, for 1 minute.
Session suspended.
No, it's
Senator
just about to
Lacson,
ask,
recognized.
what time on January 1 or January 15? Is it noon time or
12 noon of January
0001?
O kung noon time,
12 mid-
siguro naman.
Noon time.
Yes, we can insert the phrase noontime of January 1, 2000, the year pa.
Mahirap yung noon time. 12 noon na.
O, 12 noon, sige.
Noon time
Sorry,
could
sir.
be 1 p.m.
Sige, sir, 12 noon. I'm sorry.
12 noon of January 1. That is your proposal. What does the sponsor say?
May
Unacceptable.
I ask
Still
for a minute
unacceptable.
suspension
All right,
again,
we
Mr. President?
therefore amend to the amendment the new date of January 1 on or before noon.
No, wag mong na yung on and before. Dahil before is 12 noon. We'll assume office
Or
at
the at
12
noon
noon.
time of January 1.
Yan. Noon of
I so
January.
move.
So there's no conflict, Mr. President.
No, there's no more
sponsor agrees to the amendment of the
yes,
minority floor leader.
The
So
wording to the amendment is 12
no
noon
need to divide the House.
of January 1.
Ang papangit ng taking puro mga...
And every 3 years thereafter also. But that is not necessary. The amendment is
Oo nga.
12 noon of January 1. Any objection? Hearing none. Motion is approved. You may proceed. Senator Marcos.
Is that it?
Subject
Okay,
to style.
finally-
Subject to style.
For
Instead
the
of
Sixth
on, you can use
Amendment.
at.
For the Sixth Amendment,
Yes.
number 8, the Eighth Amendment, page 2, line 18.
Senator Marcos, before
Yes,
you proceed,
Mr. President.
there is a request by the Secretariat for you to read how it will appear now.
Okay.
In the entire Section 1 and Section 2.
The entire
As
Section 1
amended.
shall read as follows. Section 1, date of election. There shall be synchronized barangay and sangguniang kabataan elections which shall be held on July 15, 2002. Subsequent synchronized barangay and sangguniang kabataan
2022.
elections shall be held on the last Monday of October 2007 and every 3 years thereafter, provided that the barangay and sangguniang kabataan elections on the second Monday of May 2020, this is the first amendment po, shall be postponed to December 5, 2022, second amendment po. Subsequent synchronized barangay and sangguniang kabataan elections shall be held on the first Monday of December 2025 and every 3 years thereafter. That is Section 1.
Wala na, deleted na yan. So it has practically deleted the 1 year following a national law shall last thereafter. Ano? You're no longer
Yes, we are no longer insisting
that.
on the 1 year gap between the national and
Yeah.
barangay elections, given that the COMELEC said that they can live with
Yeah.
close to 7 months.
All right, so period. Now, Section 2. Section 2.
Okay.
Well, as proposed.
In Section 2, Section 4 of Republic Act 9164 as amended is hereby further amended to read as follows. Section 4, the assumption to office. The term of office of the barangay and sangguniang kabataan officials elected under this act shall commence at noon of June 30 next following their election, provided, however, that the term of the office of the barangay and sangguniang kabataan officials elected on December 5, 2022 elections and subsequently thereafter shall commence at noon of January 1 next following their election.
All right.
I so move if that is
Clear.
acceptable
At 12
to the minority leader and the other members.
At 12 noon.
Yes.
All right. At noon na lang. Yun yung sa Constitution, at noon. All right. At noon. Remove the 12. Subject
Shall
to style.
commence,
Yes.
to repeat and reiterate, shall commence at noon of January 1st next following their election.
All right.
Is that correct, Mr.
Yes,
President?
it's correct and clear. Now we can proceed with the next amendment.
Yes.
Still on page 2?
The Eighth Amendment on page 2, line 18, after the word barangay, may we please add the words and sangguniang kabataan.
Any objection?
I so move.
Any objection? Hearing none. Motion is approved.
On page 2, line 19, after the word barangay, may we please add once again the words and sangguniang kabataan.
line 19. Any
I
objection?
so move.
Any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
On page 2, line 21, we seek to delete the comma after the word panlalawigan. I so move, a mere matter of
Editorial
style.
amendment, yes. Any objection? Hearing none, amendment is approved.
On the same page and line, we delete the phrase, as the case may be, no longer being relevant. I so move.
Any objection? Hearing none, amendment is approved.
On page 2, line 22, let us replace the phrase, the next barangay election with January 30, 2020. June 30, 2020, I'm sorry. I so move.
June
June 3rd.
30.
June 30, 2020.
Yeah. Any objection? Hearing none, amendment is approved.
On page 2, the next line, line 23, after the word barangay, may we please add, and the Federasyon ng Sangguniang Kabataan. I so move.
Any objection? Hearing none, amendment
Like and
approved.
subscribe. Watch the previous video. Thank you for watching.